welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 285.
Wow. I
Yeah,
thought it was like 283.
yeah, that was 4 weeks ago because we had a weird schedule the last few
Yeah.
weeks. So go buy stuff at Skinny Play. Get 10% off. Use promo code. It's in the chat and should be in the description, I think. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Oh yeah, and a super chat helps keeps the light on, which is always helpful, and it also guarantees an answer to your topic and or question if we are allowed to, can, etc. Tiny caveats.
Some exceptions may apply.
Yeah. God, I need to be better at the very quick voice, but be a little. I hear it all the time now.
That's funny.
So yeah, hope everybody's doing well. How have you been?
Not bad. Slow week.
Still January?
Still January. It's ended now. After we got off the podcast last week, or no, was it last week? We had podcast last week, didn't we? My phone stopped fucking taking calls. Apparently, they completely stopped supporting. That's part of the network in here. Because my phone just became obsolete and incompatible overnight.
Wait, what?
Couldn't fucking make a phone call, man. It just would doo-doo-doo. Like, it's just weird. Like, absolutely weird.
How old was that phone? Or was it the operating system that stopped working?
I don't know what stopped working on it, but it just no more calls, bro. No more messages. Like, my girlfriend couldn't get hold of me at all. Nothing, man. I could make an outgoing call, but I'm like, it's fucking quiet. Like, usually you get a message, notification of some sorts, whatever, right? Like, it happens. No, nothing, man, nothing. And since I moved to Montreal, the weird thing was that every time I would want to use, like, let's say a bank app or even Google Maps, I had to go to airplane mode and then back out of the airplane mode so the data would go through the app. Otherwise, it would just say that you have no internet connection. So I said, the hell with it, and I went to TELUS on Tuesday, and I bought the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra with like all the alphabets on it, all the letters and shit. What a great phone, bro. I don't like this camera nonsense on these new phones because then if you it's wobbly on the table, and there's no cases yet available.
So you're saying you need more cameras to even it out?
So yeah, they should put cameras on the other side, damn it.
So they need one on every corner.
But the nicest thing that has happened because of this, do you see what I see?
Yeah, sweet.
But I don't know why in the store it doesn't show it shows it only on the Android. It shows the theater on the floor stand in anthracite exactly how it is. But it doesn't show it on the iPads yet or iOS devices so far.
That's weird because I want that icon.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but it's only like it's weird when you pick it.
Can you change sizes and stuff?
No, I don't know if it's a fluke and it auto-detected because my theater serial number, or if it goes on the serial number, my theater was 55. I just bought the wings to 65 it.
Yeah.
Or does it go off of whatever the panel is size and then it just adjusts the theater look accordingly?
But wait, I'm going to have an issue then.
It's going to have you're going to have a weird one. So see how it shows? Like if you choose this one, the first, it's just gonna go back to theater as it is.
Yeah.
But the second one is the one with the floor stand, or second one may be the auto detect one. Where is this? Front cover. See if I go to the second one and save it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it shows it as a TV.
Interesting. I'm gonna see if that works on mine yet.
But and let's go to about. I'll tell you what.
Product color.
I guess I have to go to the app or settings about here. My version of the app is 5.7.0.240202.
I just get a blank screen. It's not doing anything. I tap.
Maybe it takes a while to load for some reason for the first time when I did it. So,
Really strange.
but the nice thing is, what made me really happy is more or less the fact that they have listened to us, not just us as a podcast, but more or less, I guess, everybody else. So,
Sarah says he's on beta and it works for him. Sweet. I take it you have an iPhone in that case.
yeah, no, well, mine isn't, but Sergey's, I guess, is. And I
Yeah.
also have a beta app. I don't know how to even opt out of it anymore. It's just I'm in just a beta guy here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that. But yeah, I like the improvements very much. If there's nothing else that's going on,
Again,
at least
I exited out of it and I'm now just staring at a blank screen trying to load product colors.
Your phone is up to date.
I think so. Pretty close to. Oh, God damn it. I just exit out of it and I see it in the background, it popping up. It just takes
a while.
forever.
Yeah, it takes a while. Well, we're on we're in the American continent. So it takes a while for the data to come through from the Denmark server.
God, this is annoying that it takes so long because it's so long. Actually, the B&O loading logo disappears.
They ran out of the video for it. But the weird thing is, I've tried it at work, and then because I took the access account control, right, or and I was able to change it on my phone on the product in the store, but it would not populate on the iPad in the store the same way. And then when I've exited out of the access control, my theater now reversed back to just a soundbar. It lost the screen and stand off of the picture.
Strange.
Till I got back home and I renamed it again, I changed the product color.
Oh, there we are. It finally loaded. See, save. Oh, nothing changes.
No. No, I tried it on a few different iPads in the shop that are up to date. No, so far it's only on maybe we're not in the beta on the Apple, or on the iPads in the shop as far as the app is concerned. But nice changes.
Yeah, it's a good thing because they're even calling it the BeoVision Theater now on the website.
Well, that's good. They listened to that too, because it should have been called that from the very, very beginning, in my opinion.
Yeah. BeoVision Theater Experience.
Well, it effectively killed the Harmony, at least in our store. We've sold none. I think one that we have that people that they did specifically want the Harmony because of the opening of the screen. But if you're just going on the wall or table stand, theater makes way more sense, in my opinion, cost-wise and performance. It's unsurpassed.
One nice look is big screen. The
250s. See, it shows. Yours shows so much wider than mine. Mine doesn't show my BeoLab 11 even.
Well, it says 50s, 17s, 50s, and then +4.
ISO app showing full theater for me. Bedroom version. Nice. So it is coming through, I guess. I like it.
Maybe I'm not on the absolute latest iOS point whatever version. I'll have to look at that later.
If it's my dishwasher, I think it is. And if somebody's knocking on the door, they're fucking assholes because I left a note. Don't bother me between 2 and 4.
I did have some really weird thing going on. Was it 2 days ago? Where I was playing some music over Deezer. Not AirPlay, just through B&O app, right? Like a playlist.
Yes.
And then I started playing this puzzle game on my phone, and the music just started to stutter like crazy.
Why?
I have no idea. Every time I exited the game, it was fine. Like
That's
my iPad was
strange.
fine. No internet delay, speed testing fine. I don't know what's going on there.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, play a different game was no problem. It just like it couldn't fill the buffer or something.
Mm.
Because as
They
soon as
also
you
addressed the
like,
bug
as I
for.
went to the B&O app, back to like back
What if
and
you close the B&O app, but it still stutter?
yeah,
That's so messed up. That is weird.
I mean, it would play eventually, but like the first 20 seconds were just like 2 seconds, like 2 seconds, nothing. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, nothing.
That's bizarre. I've never seen that yet. Mine, for some reason now, uh, also the queuing in the Deezer part of the app was also fixed quietly, because apparently, or is this just working on my phone? I don't know. Maybe they, when they've issued out the color schemes update, they fixed the bug, because now I'm able to put uh or add songs to the queue, which wasn't possible to do. You could only play one at a time, which is annoying, because the only way you can make something play continuously is through flow, and then flow is random shit if you want to listen to your uh if you want to actually listen to your playlist in sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fixed too. At least it works on this new phone that I have. But other than that, I guess the biggest news is we're more into the red again.
Financially or Ferrari wise?
Ferrari wise.
Yeah, we're gonna do another year. Well, I think as Ferrari's latest announcement, they're gonna do 2 more years because Lewis Hamilton is gonna join Ferrari next year, or 2025, I should say.
On a 100th anniversary. I wonder what they're gonna come up with. Probably another set of headphones for
I
him.
don't know, but I know for sure Lewis Hamilton is also a B&O fan. I think he won, was it Sports Personality of the Year in Britain like 5-6 years ago, and he couldn't be there. So in his thank you video, you saw like a black Beolab 18 with light oak behind him.
Maybe he's gonna end up with the Ferrari Red 50s.
Yeah.
Since they're going that far. Because I don't know, like they're not gonna just keep the Explorer and the BeoSound 2 around for that. I think they're gonna come up with something better. Maybe an A9. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I honestly don't know.
It's not enough color to put on an A9 other than a cloth cover.
Oh yeah, they can make like an artist, whatever, right? Big Ferrari logo on it or something. I don't know.
I mean, I do fancy the BeoSound 2 in that Ferrari red for some reason.
It is beautiful, actually. It is a very nice color. And yeah, I guess I understand the process of double anodized and blah blah blah, but it's just a little too premium for how premium it is. But it's a beautiful system. Well, it is what it is, but it's just nice to look at, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you have a Ferrari, you might as well put it next to it.
Yeah. I look at this thing now I just finished my courses again, because I signed into a whole bunch of like optional service courses for on a B Academy or whatever.
Mm.
So yeah, the last video that I finished yesterday was gutting the BeoSound 2. So I see it from a more or less an exploded view, and that is the whole product. But no, they're fun. But yeah, other than that, nothing else is new, man. I'm trying to wiggle these Lab 8 somehow. Be fun. But I don't know if anybody else had come across this, but the BioLab 8 on the table stand, they moonwalk. They move backwards with
So they
bass.
do move.
Yes, I didn't. I forgot. It was so not even shocked. We were laughing at it yesterday at the shop. I should have taken a video, but yeah, there's certain songs that, especially jazzy ones with a lot of deeper bass, the speaker starts to move.
Hmm.
I don't think that the bass is sufficiently heavy for that speaker, and they also
Oh, you mean
rattle.
the actual stand isn't
The
sufficient?
stand is not
Yeah.
heavy enough,
I
in
was
my
like,
opinion.
wait, you need more bass out of it?
No. The stand, sorry, the stand is not heavy enough, in my opinion, and or the suspension on that stand should have been addressed a little differently than putting in on the little rubber grommets, because there's not enough transfer, or there's too much transfer of vibration going in. Like they literally vibrate. You pick them up off the. We have them on these marble or whatever granite slabs, the little pedestals, right?
Yeah.
They're heavier than shit. There's no, and you put the speakers on it and they rattle at certain songs. You lift them up in the air, no, no rattle.
As in the marble or granite or whatever
It's
rattles.
not the granite that rattles, man. The thing is glued solid. Like there is no, it's solid as rock because it is. But for some reason, just the way that if it sits on that pedestal, the speaker, you can hear the, and it's not even the back covers. Like I don't understand what rattles in it, but as soon as you pick it up, it stops.
Well, it could be the natural frequency of whatever it's sitting on.
That's what I'm thinking that it is, but like just to suspend it. I haven't seen it. We haven't sold nowhere near enough of them to have like a true in-field experience of the problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here's another quirk that I did actually on a Friday. It was a weird service call. Uh, One of our techs went in and he couldn't put in a Sonos, not Sonos. What the fuck I'm talking about? A Canton subwoofer, just
Mm-hmm.
going direct line out off the power link. It does not include it in the tuning.
Hmm.
So the only way I was able to do it, I went after him because like he can't make it work, and he thought the sub was fucked. So we brought the sub back to the store. I tested the subwoofer. I'm like, no, sub is working, man. So I went back there and I ran the entire calibration without the sub, and then I had to go back in, put the other speaker roll as the subwoofer center, and then I reran the calibration. It still didn't do it. So I had to manually adjust the subwoofer, and that's basically all there was to it. But the full setup is theater with the passive kit going to a set of in-ceiling speakers. So that's a PL out, no problem. But the line out for the sub would not jive.
So how's the line out? Is that from PL to line conversion like a cable like that? And it still doesn't do it?
No, I have it set to variable line output for the sub, and the sub
Yeah, but
has
is it
noise
like an
and whatever.
RJ45 cable into a like a line out cable or?
Yeah. It's the BNO RJ45 to RCA, right? Then it just goes spliced, not spliced. It just connects to the RCA, goes around because the sub is in the back of the room, and then it's two left and right. So I poke them both in, and no bueno. I had to go. Like it doesn't matter, and you can't have it fixed line output because then the bass is just will fucking blow the sub out, right?
Yeah.
At any level. So yeah, that was a little weird, but I got it working at the end. I carry a laser gauge so I can do the distance anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I carry the dB meter, so I did the dBs with manually corrected it, and it works.
Yeah,
But it was just I found it odd that it would not chirp those speakers.
in a way, for a subwoofer, you don't really need to room calibrate, obviously.
No,
It's
no, not
more
at all.
volumes and levels.
Exactly. So, and set the crossovers, whatever. But it was just strange that it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work with the tuning, no matter what you would do. But I remember it working before because I had the same scenario at one of the clients where we've done it a few times where we use a PowerLink RJ45 out to RCAs, and then they just go into, let's say, a wireless set of Sennheiser headphones. So then you just have a listening preset for headphones, right? It switches to PL4 or whatever. I put it always to PL4 because it's the closest to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then, or no, it's closest to the top, so it's not as bendy. And then you go, you get the variable line output or mixed line, variable mix line left and mix line right, and then it works. But for some reason now, I don't know if it was just my app with new or just the way that something's changed. It will not. I could not even assign that speaker. Like I could assign it in the power link as other, but then it wouldn't let me go any further. Like it doesn't populate it when you go to room compensation, and it shows all the speakers in the list you have that you want to uncheck what you want to include in that particular speaker preset. It does not do that. It does not populate that goofy subwoofer. So, but it's still doable. So if anybody else from the installer world that's watching this, you can still do it, but you just have to do it manually after. Go into the speaker preset, I mean the listening position, I guess they call it, and then go to the speakers themselves and assign the speaker role for the subwoofer or whatever line output you have, assign it to a.
What was the reason for going with the Canton sub and not like a 19 or something? It just money or?
Yeah, it was funny because the guy, I don't think he came to buy a stage, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really make a mistake because Kareem's the only one there. So when you walk into Kareem, it's like one of those, what are they called, those spiders that they make a hole in the sand, right? And then when the ant comes in and it can't get out, so that's basically like he was fucked. And he set him down in front of the theater. It's like, oh shit, I gotta buy that. So because of the budgetary reasons, like they had a subwoofer existing and whatever, they wanted to recover some gear. But knowing Kareem, I don't think that guy's finished yet. He's gonna end up with a set of Lab 8s because they would look good on that cabinet there. So I'm sure that when the budget recovers, there's gonna be more B&O going in there. But it's a nice setup. It's a table stand on a VESA mount, so it's a proper BeoVision theater. And yeah, it sounds great, even though it's not all B&O. But at the end of the day, sub is sub. Like bass is bass.
Yeah, it's probably a bit looser, but like, who cares? It might be good for movies.
And that's all there is in that room. And that room is already acoustically too bright because they basically encased it in glass. And it's it was a lot of fun tuning that room to at least make it stomachable, I guess, in a way. But I talked to him and said, like, to put at least get some artwork or something, acoustic absorbing paneling or some whatever, put on the wall to kind of
Fluffy
stifle it
pillows,
down.
couches,
Yeah.
rugs.
Well, they had, there was no real like a big rug, but it's just a room that's big enough for a huge couch. But yeah, the rooms, like walls, there's really nothing on them. One is complete glass. The other one has a huge window on it, and then you have the TV with bookshelf and millwork and basically an acoustic mirror in the back because the wall is completely plain. So
Get some curtains
or something, just
Yeah.
soften it down.
Yeah,
So
like
it was a
those
slow week, but it
heavy-ass.
was more or less like tuning. It was a tuning week. I did that on Friday, and I went visit the guy that we did the 50s about 2 months ago to retune them again. He put a whole bunch of dampening in the wall, and we ended up moving the speakers, so like all the calibration measurements were basically out to lunch. And he's like, it sounds great. I'm like, yeah, it does, but I can hear that the accuracy is further than what it's supposed to be, where the imaging's supposed to be. So he redid the whole thing with the theater and whatever, tuned it all. The weird thing was his 50 stopped going from narrow to wide. I had to power cycle the 50s. I had to literally unplug. I unplugged everything. Unplugged the theater, unplugged the 50s, plug them back in. They reboot it, and yeah, then the narrow and wide would work. They wouldn't even work off of the B&O app on their own.
That's weird.
So yeah, I just hung up somehow. But
Good old
everything's
reset.
good. Yeah, good old power cycle, and everything's good back again to what it's supposed to be. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I like that you can mix and match speakers now to your theater, but it's almost asking for more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, you know what? If it's a subwoofer, I don't see that big of a deal.
No.
The other speakers that we do sometimes mix and match are the Canton in ceiling speakers for the surround. They're also not that big of a deal if you think about it, because it's a surround set.
But does that go through like a B&O
Bio,
amp? Like,
yeah, we do it usually. This guy had. The reason I said passive kits because I think he had a couple passive kits from his old house.
mm-hmm.
So it's still a B&O amp at the end of the day. But yeah, for all the cantons, we usually we do try and or tie them together with the BO amp too.
How would you
Which
rate
that
the
thing,
Canton versus like the Celestials and such?
you know what? I really haven't had a chance to listen to neither of them that extensively. But one thing that I can tell between Canton and Bowers and Wilkins, which is another brand that we do
Mm-hmm.
a bit of a number of as far as the in ceiling speakers are, the Bowers and Wilkins are insanely good. I really like those speakers. I don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't do them as fronts or whatever, but for just the rear theater effects, very, very, very good. Very, very good sounding.
Wait, are you saying I need more speakers in my ceiling?
You need to have a freaking like a USB extender for PowerLink on your theater now, for God's
No,
sakes.
my 17s are all WiSA.
So what? You have one PowerLink slot left?
Two.
Oh yeah, because you only have 250s going out of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at you. You can put two more pairs, Tavagnak.
And
So.
then I should actually not do like Celestials. I just should do Palatials right over.
Oh fuck, that would be cool.
It's like being shouted down by God. Like,
Oh, dude. Quick question: does anyone have issues with their Bio Remote Halo? Mine sometimes gets stuck on the looking for update screen. How long have you had it? First of all, second of all, if you have all these issues with it, the first thing that I would do, honestly, is factory reset the bloody thing and put it back in the app.
yeah,
Because it's not the biggest deal to set up. There's really nothing to set up. You just add it to the bloody app and just clear its head because there's something that might be stuck in there, bugged out, because there's no real way to power cycle that thing.
what's your network like?
And that's another question if your network's good.
Like, if you have
But
a bunch of node hopping going on, it may be suboptimal. It
so,
shouldn't be suboptimal, don't get me wrong, but like, this is something that happens on occasion.
yeah, but I would start with that. If in doubt, just reset the bloody thing. We don't really use the Halo much in the shop.
By the way, you have what is it? 10-second press is reboot still, so you need to hold it until it comes up initially, I think in Chinese.
What, the Halo?
Yeah. Like, you have to hold it down for 15 seconds and that's a full like
Reset?
Yeah. Like, you
Or do it from the app. It's easier, I guess.
essentially hold it down until you see all the languages coming through.
I've had since November 2021. I reset it probably 20 times already. Network is Unify. Rebooting the Halo helps, but getting out of the searching for update screen.
What does your app say? Does your app say there's an update for the Halo? Because if not, it shouldn't be searching for updates on its own, especially not on the screen.
No, no, and I don't think there's been an update for a Halo in a long, long time. They've left it as it is,
Like, at least a year.
if not more. I think the last update was the keyboard. I mean the interface with the
Yeah.
TVs. other than theater, of course. B&O should make a bloody app compatibility for that in-app remote. It only happens if I select a device in the app. Interesting. Could be a bug in the app. I don't know how much they play with the B&O or a remote Halo in Denmark. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Rebooting, yeah, the network. If you got Unify network, you shouldn't have an issue, in my opinion, at all. Like, at all.
But do you use the... oh, God.
What products do you have connected
do you use
to the
access
Halo?
points, or do you use the
mesh?
Yeah, mesh networking. I doubt you're using mesh networking if you say Unify.
Yeah.
Again, with Ubiquity, even the mesh is good. So I don't know what's going on. I would take it back to the dealer, have him look at it. Because that's not normal.
No, it could be something internal also, with the board maybe.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had the screen of the Halo itself saying searching for updates.
I've never seen it.
I've only seen it.
I've
like
seen it during the setup
updating
first.
or...
Yeah, I've seen it during the setup once when it says updates available, I believe that it said. But I never really played with it much other than, you set it up in the app and that's it. And I had a Halo, I got rid of it because I really had no need for it here. Like, I don't live in a fucking studio with
No, you
three,
max out the amount of remotes you can attach to everything.
with 3 remotes for the theater and 2 Essence remotes, for God's sakes. That's enough. But I only use one, the silver beater. This one is always again, status report. I still think that those batteries that I bought make a difference
Interesting.
in the connectivity of the remote. So far I only had it drop out once, but it was the farthest one from the A theater, and it's the one that usually gets only pressed my button once a day. And standby when I'm leaving, so that remote is very, very rarely used versus the silver guy, which is their primary.
I still have to attach my new anthracite one. I haven't gotten around to all that.
Oh, to hook it up to the theater?
Yeah. God, it's like I'm still like painting and stuff. Like that wall behind me used to be white. It's fortunately not green enough to be a green screen, so I can't be memed into too much.
That's funny. So, yeah, we haven't even sold many Halos lately. I think the only thing really that really moves is the theater and the BeoLab 8.
Anyone, including B&O, even promotes the Halo?
I think we talk about it more than they do on Instagram, for God's sakes, in here.
Yeah.
So you got theater, M3 Halo, A1, that doesn't count. And a couple of game speakers. Well, you pretty much only have a theater and an M3 that Halo can control. You know what I would try? I would try to get out. I would try to take out the M3. Like, just piss on the ASC platform for a bit and see if that's gonna do any different behavior. If it's just theater with the Mozart platform going on the Halo itself. I would do that for the sake of experiment. Maybe that's the problem, that you have something that maybe the M3 prompts for some reason. I don't know.
Is your M3 up to date?
So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, remove the M3 from controllable devices and just give it a few days and see if it's gonna do anything. But I just, I have my suspicions that it could be the ASC platform not being compatible with the theater. There's no beta for ASC. ASC platform is basically obsolete. That's well, it's not obsolete. It's still in the stage, harmony, and the core.
Yeah, and they'll get security updates, but they won't get fleshed out features anew.
So yeah, let's see what happens, Delaney. I'm really curious. If you're gonna watch next week, please report, because I would like to see how that went or how it goes. If it's the M3 that may be doing something, or or the theater that's doing something, and M3 is fine. But I would even alternate and switch one or the other and see what happens if that bug disappears, if one product is not present in the controllable group. You know,
I mean, my
just a thought.
Halo is connected to two M3s and BSOund 2 ASE Mark 1. My Harmony, my A5, mine is fine. So, I mean, who knows what it is, but
David says, "I'll probably get 3 Halo soon, but I need to replace the plastic with front wood or fabric if possible." You know what? That's I don't. Obviously, it's possible because they showed it on the what's that Vegas show? The
CES.
electronic, yeah, the CES. They showed it there in, like, obviously they had like a whole ring of halos with different colors. It might have not been this year, but it was last year. I'm certain of it. And they had different woods. I know for a fact that they had oak and walnut on it.
I think it was on
So
the
it would be bespoke for sure.
stockholder meeting in Denmark where they showed a bunch
Yes.
of that.
Yeah.
For
So it
shareholder.
would be something to consider asking your dealer about bespoke. So because that was my interest also. If I'm gonna ever, well, I'm gonna end up with the Halo, not in this apartment, but once I move to Florida, I'm gonna get the Halo, and I'm definitely gonna get a wood cover for it. It's gonna be freaking stupid money, but you know what? It is what it is.
If you
I wonder if the
feel
logic behind the wood covering is the fact that there may not be enough wood structure for it not to bend over time. That they haven't really gone ahead with it.
Mr. E. Mayans made his own, and that worked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you have a picture of it?
Yeah, I showed it a while ago. I don't remember where it is now.
Shit, I'm out of coffee completely. That sucks.
Huh?
I need to go to an espresso.
uh,
But yeah, well, really, you don't really need much other than the hole for the logo where the sensor is, the light sensor, and a couple magnets glued in the right spot. Or possibly just veneer. Yeah.
so don't
Yeah, it looks cool.
pay too much attention to the minor details. This was a DIY thing by.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can DIY it, B&O can do it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Shit, on that picture, it looks like the screen is almost floating in the air. It's a perfect mesh. Oh, yeah, so they didn't put the logo in, it's just left it open. I see.
Yeah. Well, it was a DIY job, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
to, like, to put the logo in as a DIYer, you have to sacrifice one of the plastic covers. Because, like, where are you going to get your own logo that size?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're
Wasn't
not.
Prestige pondering this, or he does that, or no?
They're out of business, unfortunately.
Oh, no, that's sad.
Yeah. Very. But yes, they
No.
were. But B&O has made it for sure.
Yeah, I know they did because I've seen it on the trade shows. So, or at least on the videos from the trade shows. I'm waiting for the availability date and the price of the BeoLab 8 wood walnut lamellas. And I wonder what the fourth preset would be reserved for. Do you think ever they'll make, maybe like the Mercedes grills for it? because they have one tuning left available for future use for the BeoLab 8s.
So what's
Well,
so
there's no
presumably they
cover.
can use none, right, as well.
Well, no cover is no cover. Fabric and wood. So you have a magnet, and then there's two magnets, which would be the fourth option. Because there's two Hall sensors on the front of the speakers that basically detect what tuning to apply additionally based on what covers are covering the drivers. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's not my color. The gold tone BeoLab 8s, they look cool. I agree. They are not offensive at all, but they're definitely not my cup of tea. Now that's a nice installation. It's only sad that the silver frame on the goddamn LG you can't change.
I don't even think it's all that offensive, personally.
No, it looks good.
I have a feeling they probably wanted aluminium frames for the 8s. It would be a
At
bit
some
too
point.
much. I would probably say it's too much, right? I mean, maybe they will, but I doubt it somehow.
Well, fuck, maybe they can do some like spaced aluminium, maybe. Like, I don't know if it's something that logically makes sense to mix it with
But do they really need the
on the go
magnets
products.
to change the tuning when you can already tune it with the inbuilt microphone?
Well, there's 4 microphones inside that speaker.
Yeah. So would they actually need to have different covers based on the magnets? Not really, right? Like,
What I don't understand is why is it I personally believe more or less it's a gimmick that they can say they did it. Maybe there is some logical reasoning to it, but I just don't understand. Okay, why did you do that for the 8s but not the theater? Or have you learned something from the theater that you now applying to on future production speakers with this approach now, because you've just realized that, like, okay, well, I guess we can now measure shit so precisely that it actually makes a difference if you put a gray melange or an oak cover on the theater. So we're going to mitigate that with putting that into the algorithm on the next set of speakers, which are the Lab 8s. Because to me, there is no logical reason why the microphone port is put in where it is put in. You know what I'm saying? For the theater, it could have been moved just slightly over, whatever. Like, I don't understand why.
it wouldn't have changed a thing for cloth covers, though.
No.
But also, don't forget that a lot of the current products are still from the COVID lockdown era.
The what, sorry?
The COVID lockdown era is more or less where all this was dreamed up, right?
Fair enough.
And the theater kind of shows that, because, like, you
then
ran
it should
into,
be able
like,
to wear a mask. It's like wearing a mask then, bro.
yeah, but the thing is that Notto, right, like, is in Germany, and then the Danes are in Denmark, so they had the problem of that they had to, like, essentially rent out like a small hotel. And due to all the legislation, like, during the first half of the day, Notto could be in the conference room and work on things. Then they had to leave. Then the Danes could come over for a day, but they had to be over the border again at the end of the day because of rules. Like, this was not like a Dane and the Notto designer just sat in a room and did stuff. Like, it was all weird, right? Like, and you have to sort of, like, imagine designing something through the internet that's physical, and you can't really see each other.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, and I tell you, move something this much, and you're like, what is this much?
This much, bro. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that I can't tell. But see, that's the thing, that you can't tell, because if you take the damn grill off, the tuning changes automatically based on that. Like, the room compensation stays, but it just changes how whatever these slight nuances that affect the sound profile, going through the lamellas versus the fabric or naked, it's it automatically, I guess, takes into account as soon as you take the grill off or put a grill on.
It just seems weird to me that you have essentially an electromechanical connection change something in software.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that needed to begin with? And your TV is switching on, by the way.
What did I press?
I don't know.
What did I press? Did I press anything?
I could see it turning in the background. Like, what are you saying about me?
Haunted house.
You a-hole.
It is my music. I know sometimes my girlfriend forgets because I named everything the same, right? Well, she has a living room, I have a living room, a bedroom, and a bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple times where she opened her app or Spotify and just started playing into the living room, and I can stop it, and it's like because it plays here, and she's like, "What's going on?" and plays it again. I'm like, "No, call this. Like, you gotta stop it, man. Check what device you're on." So I made her remove mine, but then she comes here and she wants to listen to music. Yeah, it is. It is. It is Spotify. She's trying to get in my shit. Call this.
Maybe next time you have her phone together, you should call your living room like wiving room and her giving room.
Well, mine is now all in caps and hers is in small letters, but apparently that's not enough difference.
I mean, just make everything start with a W, right? Like witchin, wiving room, bathroom.
All right, I'll just let her know that don't Spotify to my shit. Let's see. Oh well, that's it. That's the fun of Spotify. You fucking bastard communist. Why do you are able to do that? Why can't do that with Deezer? Makes sense. Like if you're out of somewhere, you should be able to just go back and play into it.
Quick question: have you, in any recent periods, sold or talked to any potential customer about the Bio Living Intelligence?
As a matter of fact, actually, I did on Friday when I was talking to the guy with the 50s. He was asking about me a little bit, like I was talking about, life in Calgary and what I did there and how I had it set up and blah, blah, blah. So, but that's pretty much the only conversation I had. I think that other than I'm doing the course on it again, because I need, I guess, to count it that I've done it. It's not much talk about it now. Now it's a Mark III or whatever. I don't know what the difference between the first and second is, other than maybe more. It's got a USB-C, I guess. So
yeah,
I don't know what. It's probably faster, but do you need it? How fast do you really need it if you don't have any IP cameras running through it? And I don't even know. Well, back when I still played with it, it was about a year ago when I did the store, and then I kind of just gave up on it because it's so hard to keep up with the shop, because every time, obviously we turn over stuff, right? So if there's a product on a demo or whatever, or a guy, like, we need to push it out of the store, and then it gets fucking sold and a new one gets rolled in and I'm not there, and it takes time to pair it on the network, not network, but to get it on the gateway to program it correctly. I understand that, yeah, you just change the serial number and the assignments and whatever, but if it's does happen so much that everything's just convoluted, so I don't yeah, it's not much of a push anymore. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is I haven't played with it for so long. More or less I gave up on it also because the theater was not really supported fully, and there's some things that just you can't do. And you got to talk to the guys in Uruguay in a fucking basement somewhere on a video call to, so they can nerd out the macro that works. And it's just it wasn't ready, and I just gave up on it was too busy to play with, and I don't have fucking wire network in here, so I can't play with it in my own house. And the downfall of that also is that I'm not gonna put lighting control in here.
Yeah, what
And yeah,
for?
I don't have the hardwire network, and it's like, what is it, 11 dimmers that I would have to put in here, maybe, or 9 dimmers and 2 keypads, maybe 3-4 keypads.
This works.
So yeah, but for the sake of like controlling shit, well, I could do that too with the Philips Hue, right?
Yeah.
So
Also, DJ Neo says the Home Assistant Mozart extension becomes part of Home Assistant Core in the next Home Assistant release. So all the Mozart-y stuff you'll be able to control with Home Assistant in a month or so, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Would I buy a floor demo of a ZX Harmony? I don't know what the ZX Harmony is for 36K. I can't say I had a stupid emoji over top of this whole thing.
Yeah, floor demo of a 88.
That's that 8K panel, right?
Yeah, but the ZX is the panel from 3 years ago, I think.
Fuck, that's gonna be. You know what? The first thing I would do, I would turn on that screen or make the dealer turn it on. Go to the device settings, about TV or whatever the heck it is, and look how many hours are on the panel. That would be the first thing that would help me evaluate how much would I spend on it, because a lot of that cash is on that panel. It's not on the Harmony, because Harmony at the end of the day, it's not that expensive, because you're buying a bunch of speakers with the opening box. What gets pricey is the panel over top and the goddamn wood covers. Depends on what wood species and size of the screen you go with.
Yeah, because the ZX I think is from 2020. Just looking now. Because I think we're currently on the Z2 or Z2 or whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
I think it's Z. This is gonna. I need to pull this.
Pull it good. There we go. I don't know. Personally, I don't even have Harmony on the radar, even if I were in the market for the TV. I would go with the theater based on its capabilities. Yes, I understand if it's on a floor stand, you can't put an 88 on the floor stand for the theater. But if you want to have a huge screen, then just slap it on the wall with an 87-inch panel, put the theater underneath it with the 65-inch wing so it doesn't look too awkward, and Bob's your uncle, man. So
these are the ever present discussions, right? Is it Z or Z? Because you buy a Nissan 350Z.
I know.
Not a Nissan 350Z. No, it's a Nissan instead of Nissan.
Yeah, but then ZZ top would sound fucked up, right? ZZ top is better.
I guess.
So they're right in that one instance. And from A to Z. From A to Z sounds better. Like I got from A to Z, not A to Z. From A to Z, but that's
no, A to Z.
A to Z sounds better in my opinion. That's something that, like, those two that I would let the Americans keep. The rest you gotta go to Z, bro. But I guess Z's dead for Americans. It's math, not math.
That's Tarantino.
Yeah,
that's Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, that's dead. So Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, back to your harmony question, I honestly would entertain the idea of buying a theater. Like, I'm just hell bent on that tech and the capabilities of it. And yes, it doesn't unfold. Fuck it. Do you want fold or do you want to shit your pants with sound? That's the question.
Though at 88 inches, the size does come into play a heck of a lot more.
Well, hell yeah, but like, what speakers do you have on the side? Because if you have an 88-inch screen, you're not going to have a pair of lap fours straddling it.
No, sure, but like even no matter where you put it, it's going to be enormous when it's up, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So there is that. Uh, so when I do think when you get to the enormous sizes 88 and 97, a harmony starts making more sense, even though it's not as blow away in terms of sound. Because if you
Yeah,
have
but then
like your other customer with the glass walls and stuff, like you're taking out half the wall of glass if it's just permanently right.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's everything has its purpose, and but for me nowadays, I just, as much as I would want to consider a harmony, like, it's a beautiful television. Don't get me wrong, but maybe if I'm in Florida, I would buy a harmony for the '90s because I like that look. That looks sexy, and
Are you sure you don't want a 32-inch OLED with a theater?
32-inch OLED fudge. Put 77-inch wings on it. Just go retarded completely. But yeah, I don't know, man. The harmony is no longer something that entices me at all, and I feel bad for the two demos we got because they're gonna die in that store. It's just nobody's. If you look at it, like, yes, it's either your designer decided or you just don't care that much about the sound. Did we already discuss the BeoSound Bollard? Not much.
A few weeks ago.
There's really not that much info on it about it either, but
It's the
it's a product that is
stupidest
not
name ever, but whatever.
that's to begin with. But I don't think we'll ever see it in the store because it's not a part of the mandatory demo program. But I think
Thank God.
that I don't know if I heard Kareem talking about it in some projects, so we might end up in the summer putting a couple of these in.
Oh, you're going to be a
Uh,
gardener now.
so we're gonna do some gardening and we'll see how that works.
God.
Well, fuck, I've never installed shit into Earth before. Literally, I've never done that.
This is, well, it's new, but not that new. It launched, what, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that?
Yeah, they introduced it on the CES. So, it's not that cost prohibitive though. 1650 for the whole thing, and it's not. It's tall. It's pretty tall, I guess. Like, it's a pretty good deal. I just wonder what that material. It can't be aluminium. It's got to be something else. So, do you think it's aluminium? I don't think that would hold up in the weather.
I think it's aluminium. It'll probably hold up for 5 to 10 years.
Depends where. Like, if you're somewhere by the ocean, the salt will eat the crap out of it much faster than if you're somewhere like
It may not
in.
be anodized the same way. It may be powder coated.
Oh yeah, it could be.
It's
But yeah, put the bollard in the window locks. Thank God we don't even have a display window, but we have like a display area in our shop, and we still get our balls busted. Maybe that we should have a window. We can't have a window. That's just where it is. But yeah, it's an interesting concept for that bollard because it has its own amplifier that they had developed for it. So I don't know. My only thing with that idea per se is once you're out in the garden, because like we're talking, this is not your little hipster 8 by 8 foot backyard square, right? That you would put these fucking things in.
I have a
So,
few acres that's manicured.
or let's say you have a large yard, right? Like you put a couple of these in there. Then how do you control it? Because obviously the core that is going to be driving this is somewhere in the technical room. So are you going to walk like a wizard with the halo in your hand, or the only way to do it otherwise is through the app? There's really no.
No, you're gonna have these outdoor ubiquity points that still keep you on the network of your enormous mansion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the only way is the app control, because you can't really control them any other way,
Yeah.
or voice control, I guess,
I
with the
don't know. Maybe
Googlies.
you do a sort of reverse new Flavor Flav and get an Essence remote that dangles on your neck.
Just modify the wall bracket.
I don't know. This is for such a unique group of people that, like, I have a big garden, but this is silly in my garden.
Hmm.
Like, it makes no sense. Like I can probably feed myself and a few people off the space in my garden, right?
Hmm.
So in terms of the size, but this is not worth it. Like, this is for when you have a lot of garden parties. This is more for, like, I don't know, you own a castle that you rent out for events and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not in our pay category, that's for sure.
Yeah, or
But a lot of people, like for me, I don't know. It's for me, putting bollards or like these, the rock speakers, whatever shit you have, right, in the garden it's. I see it as a waste of money, because I don't know. Maybe I'm not like old enough to be hunched over fucking dandelions and whatever and pulling weeds all day in the garden with my wife. But I if even if I were old enough to do this, I would still bring like a Beolit or a A5 or something that is portable, that you just bring it around instead of the bollards. Like I understand this is like, to me it looks like a light standard, like a bollard that you line your driveway with it, type of thing, or you put a couple out front. I don't know. I just can't get my head around the
funnily enough, my
outdoor
local
speakers.
mall is an outside mall, and it's very Florida, right? So there's
Yeah.
palm trees, and it's sort of like if somebody told them what a European shopping center looked like, and they built it outside, but they didn't fully get it. So it's half Spanish, half
Yeah.
European. But every 15 meters or so, they have a speaker in the ground next to a palm tree. So it's for
Yeah.
that sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah. No, I can't see myself, like going gardening and
Yeah. But it's
have
more. It's
that.
that's what I mean to say. It's more a commercial thing because, like, there's like in my local mall, there's like all the time this pleasant music playing wherever you are
Mm.
outside. And I mean, I guess it does work in the sense that it makes you feel more relaxed and that sort of thing.
You know where that makes sense to me, in like a high end office that has like a not even an atrium, but they have an you know corral per se inside the building,
Mm-hmm.
with the like a garden or whatever open space. That's where you put these, so they just kind of play the music ambiently and so on. But I don't see myself ever putting like, even here people are not that crazy, and they're way more crazy about outdoors in Montreal that I've seen ever in Canada, on the other side in Calgary. Like, yeah, we do a lot of outdoor shit outside but everybody just gets patio speakers, man. You put couple whatever's all weather speakers on the corner of your patio doors, and
Like
you have your deck, the barbecue, and that's the end of it.
the bollard is for people that live in houses like this,
And there you go.
like where you have a shit ton of outside space.
When you got to start the car just to go get your mail at the in the mailbox.
Yes. And you do not enjoy silence.
So But then again, if you're driving, you should just turn on the damn radio. What are you gonna do? With fucking drive with your windows down to listen to your music from outside? That's fucked up too.
I mean,
So
I know people with spaces like this, but most of them couldn't care enough to put a bunch of music in the garden, unless it's some sort of tax write-off, right? But you use it what 5 times a year at best if you're gonna have big parties.
unless you do it in like this castle type of thing going on, where let's say you have weddings and shit, then I can understand that. Where but it's a commercial business. It's not something that you just put in your terrace to go listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would walk around like a freaking Little Red Riding Hood with the basket around, than going around putting bollards and burying speakers in the ground. I'm sure they sound great, but I don't know. Not for me. Cool that they're going that venture, and I'm glad that there is
I think it's much
that
more
part
an
of the business
Origin
covered.
Acoustics thing than necessarily a B&O thing.
I think that the B&O staple is only in there because of the amplifier design. That's
Yeah,
in
and
my
and then
opinion.
maybe the nicer look than just some plastic. Because
And
like in my
finishing.
mall, like it's one of these plastic mushroom looking things.
Oh yeah, that's Bose, isn't it? The green ones.
Could be. I didn't look close
Yeah,
enough.
they look like bomb shelter vents, don't they?
Sort of.
Yeah. I think that's Bose's outdoor speakers. Have the speakers shaping like a claymore.
Like even if you have a very nice garden, like something like this, right? Like, and these people seem to have the money. If you put them on the side here, you already see that there's a fence. You're gonna drive your neighbors nuts.
Mm?
Like this is a nice sized garden. My garden is bigger, but I wouldn't do this for literally the same reason that the moment you put it on, your neighbors are gonna go nuts. And like, how often are you just taking a stroll in the garden? You need like an estate to do that.
Mm. And then how many of those bollards would you have to put in just so you can hear them in a continuum, right? I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're gonna go for a walk, fucking take some headphones, man. There's more than enough to pick from in the B&O's portfolio at this point of time. But I had one client in Calgary that a big garden, whatever, and their thing was, yeah, we're putting the music around the pool, and make sure. I'm like, when you're in the pool, you got water in your ears, bro. What the fuck do you care about music? So I don't know. I don't understand that at all.
I mean,
But
or something like this house, George Harrison's house. This is where a B&O bollard works.
oh, what the fuck, man? That's a lot of rooms.
I mean, and they have like, I don't know, like 120 acres or something like that.
But still, where would you put them? Would you line them where the golf cart is driving on both sides of the road?
Yeah, maybe some over here, right? In your sort of maze of things, if you have one of those, or like, because this is where you, like, I don't know, stroll and contemplate life. That sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Be contemplating air conditioning and heating bills on this one. Shit.
Well,
That's
I
a
guess when you have
big-ass
that sort of
house.
money, it doesn't really fucking matter.
You know what though? I always like we always talk about it, even in the shop with the guys. Like I don't, like I guess I'm blessed enough to be able to see a lot of beautiful homes, doing what I do for a living. But one thing that I still wouldn't do, I would not buy or build an Uber mansion for no fucking reason whatsoever. I just wouldn't do it.
Same.
A house like your size is almost too big for me. You know what I mean? If you get pets, I understand, because then they got their own room and shit and whatever. Like if you have a spouse, then yes, maybe she needs an office and you need an office. So yeah, there's like a 4-bedroom home then, right? 2 offices or 1 office, depends on if you both work at the same time. You can't be together, then whatever. But I just don't have the need. Like I've never had the need to build an atrocity. And trust me, I've in 8 years of architecture that I've been involved with in Calgary, I've built some seriously ridiculous homes. And then you walk around like, for what, man? Like, for what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I built a house that was 43,000 square feet. It had 37 rooms. It was 37 rooms. And I almost said it at one point in the meeting that I'm like, you know what? Maybe y'all should just divorce if you fucking need that much space between yourselves to not to look at one another. It'd be cheaper and less
Dear
headache.
Lord.
43,000 square feet, man. It was insanity. Like, just the rendering of that house was, the fucking computer was on fire. So yeah, I don't have that need. Like the only reason that I would ever want more rooms is to hoard more B&O in them. That's basically the only my logical explanation would be, is to have rooms that have shelves full of Lego and B&O around it. So when I build and look at it, I can listen to whatever I have in there.
You sure you don't need like 10,000 square feet for your Lego collection?
And and that's another thing that's starting to even here. I'm throttling it down. I was gonna buy the crane. It's $1,000. So instead, we decided we're gonna buy ourselves a PlayStation 5 for our 1-year anniversary with my girlfriend.
So you
So
can
we're
beat her ass in Tekken.
gonna beat her ass in Tekken. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna play, but are the Steam games compatible with PlayStation?
No.
Shit deal. So you just have to buy more games. But yeah, my buddy Etienne, that his son has a PlayStation 5 and they hooked it up into an LG panel. And he was saying that the fucking thing opens up a completely different sub menu that you can change in the PlayStation, like how many frames a second and blah blah blah. Like there's all these other options I've never seen on the panel. So obviously I have nothing connected to it. But I'm excited. I'm debating if I should buy the digital version only or the one with the CD drive or the Blu-ray drive. Because if I buy one with the Blu-ray, I assume it would have a. Oh shit! Yeah, good argument, David. I would have a cigar room. Uh, if I buy the Blu-ray version,
But
can
again,
you
how large
actually
does the
play?
cigar room needs to be?
Not big. I would have it smaller than this apartment. Definitely, like this area would be more than enough. Anyways, I would. What was I saying now? Shit, I forget. There it went.
Blu-ray, PlayStation
Yeah,
5?
can you PlayStation 5 play SACDs? Do we know that?
No.
Because I would love me to play some fucking Pink Floyd, man. Dark Side of the Moon on SACD and quadraphonic.
PlayStation 5 SACD.
I would suspect that it would play everything like other than plywood, right?
Doesn't support this, but wait. What? This is the wrong answer.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, Laura. It's like, do I go with the digital version only, or do I get the one with the disc drive? Because there's a like $80 difference. Who gives a shit? But I guess my argument is if I get the one with the disc drive, then it can fit inside the little cabinet. There's a slot because you can lay it down. It doesn't look awkward, right? And then I just have to run an HDMI cable all the way around. Tabarnak, there's going to be cables now. Oh, fuck, there's going to be cables anyways, because if I'm going to get to either... I don't know where the fours are. I'm still not convinced that I've gotten rid of those speakers. So I'm going to go to the storage and look for that.
PlayStation. Let's see if we can find... It says it has no limits. if it actually has no limits.
Well, I think the only the minidisc would definitely not play in it, but
Let's see what codecs.
that's a good question, Stefan. Are Blu-rays higher quality in terms of image versus streaming? They are two different movies when you're watching them. I shit you not. My girlfriend wasn't really. She had a Netflix account with like the broke people Netflix, right? Like the 720p or 480 or whatever. Like it's a fucking VCR without the having you rewind it at the end of the show. So it's like, no, man, like update. Like we're watching so much movies, and like either I open my account and then we pay for 2 fucking Netflixes, or just you have your and pay for the unlocked whatever the 4K version, right? So she unlocked the 4K, bought the premium package, whatever. We redid the Netflix, and then I loaded up the Dune. No, not the Dune. I watched the Dune as well, but we loaded up. What's that? Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first scene when he goes to like Mach 10.1, whatever, just a little more when he pushes, and the definition of the skin tone, the face, the fucking detail in the pores is non-existent on a 4K Netflix stream. Non-existent. The amount of detail, because there's no fucking way that your TV can pull, not even your TV, that the network and the servers would have available 26 gigabytes to download to your TV in the span of 2 hours.
No.
That's not possible.
Well, your network could do it, but the server from
the server from the Netflix, there's no way, man. There's no way. If everybody was streaming 4K and they would be pulling like that's petabytes at that point out of the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Every second. So there's no way. So it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference, and that's when we watched it scene to scene compared. And my girlfriend's like, holy shit, I can't believe how much difference there is. I'm like, yes, there is. The sound is more defined, but the picture quality is completely second level.
It doesn't seem like it does do any of the DVDs or CDs, really.
That's weird. It would have to. I don't think it would play HD DVD, but I'm sure it would play some. There's no way Sony wouldn't play a CD. They fucking invented it.
The PS4 didn't play CDs.
Really?
Yeah.
Call this. That's some bullshit, man.
I would say have a look into it. Like it played DVDs at PS4, but not CDs.
I'm gonna text Etienne and have his kid put a fucking CD in his PS5, see if it blows up. So yeah, Stefan. If you're into actual movies, I would highly recommend Blu-raying that stuff. Or, well, I can't really advise you to download illegally, but it's there are options out there to do. Even if you buy the movie from Amazon, I think the only way that you could get a good quality is if you are able to download the copy and save it, let's say, on a USB drive and then play it in the TV. But yeah, the difference between the picture quality and sound quality is not as bad or as much impacted as the picture, but it is a big difference in the picture quality.
Apparently the PS5 does do Blu-ray discs, but it just says for games, so I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'll have to check.
Yeah, so that does.
I'll have to check that.
It's weird.
I don't understand why they would not support everything that spins and needs laser to be read.
Especially since the licenses are so cheap now.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you own the bloody licenses for all the Blu-ray stuff.
Blu-ray, CDs, they have a huge, obviously, Sony Music, right? Like, come on. I understand the mini disc. That's ridiculous, but
Wait,
they
no.
should have.
Sandeep says they do Blu-ray discs, but not Dolby Vision from UHD discs.
I wonder if they would even support like an MKV file for a
Apparently,
movie.
it's very. So another site says it does Dolby Digital True HD and DTS HD. So I don't know. It's weird. It's really strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why. I guess fuck, I'll get the thing anyways. But I like, there's no point to get me the freaking one without the disk drive. Then
Yeah, so get the one with disk drive always.
they both support spatial audio. You have a PS5, don't you, Sandeep? Or am I dreaming?
I think he does, but I'm not entirely sure anymore.
I don't, Lawrence. How does the K-scape work again, or not again? Because we used to sell it back in a store in 2011 and whatever, back before the Apple TV was invented. And when the Apple TV came out with the Netflix on it and all that, it just kind of killed that business. So I wonder, what is it? Basically a streaming service? Do you get to download those movies physically to your Kscape hard drives or servers and then watch them, or do you still rip your Blu-rays through that big freaking?
I think you can do both. You can pay for them, download them, or you can rip them.
Panasonic H20 Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm gonna look into something that plays. I don't know. I'm also debating, like, should I just, like, get pregnant with it and jump the board and go with an LG Blu-ray drive or Blu-ray disc player that I could then. I really wanted to get an Oppo from the store, but the DVD player is dead now. They burnt the laser out of it. But that was a good one. That thing would play anything that's round. Fuck.
Yeah, you can still buy them secondhand, but they're ridiculously expensive.
Because they're very good.
Yeah, they're like €1,500 or something like that.
Oh my god, yeah, it's too much for me.
Kaleidoscape is insanely expensive.
It's always been. It's, I think, $20,000 system to start.
Yeah, apparently Best Buy sells it.
No shit.
Yeah. The movie server, 88 terabytes, $25,000.
Jesus Christ. But they do have a good service, though. I've when we had them, we were involved with them. There was no questions, just boom right away if the hard drive died or whatever. And it's very brainless how it works. You can just come in, swap them out, and it's great. But I don't see the value in it. It's funny how the tables turn, because I used to be a non-movie watcher whatsoever, but now, sitting with the girl at home, it just, fuck, let's go watch something. Let's watch something. All of a sudden, like, oh my god, we got into that show called OA on Netflix.
OA?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's about, I don't want to spoil it.
French thing? OA! Baguette, OA!
OA. It's a girl that found a way to jump through parallel universes with the gayest fucking dance I've ever seen. And they've, like, it's just weird, man. It's weird. And how that season ended, I thought I'm gonna freaking, like, we both just looked at one another like, is this really the end of it? It was that bad. But sometimes, you forgive yourself because the way that it's produced, it's nice, and the sound is great, so they suck you in, and then, oh my lord. So anyways,
I'm gonna start watching Band of Brothers because that's on Netflix now.
I am going to dig up my old DVDs that I had Man, I downloaded those Band of Brothers long time ago. I think I have 1080p copies of it all on my somewhere in my discs. I don't know if they're in my storage locker or they are in my mom's basement. I left them in Calgary. I don't remember.
You could
But I
just
have
watch
a
it up
lot
on
of those movies.
Netflix.
Yeah, but now given like the movies and shows that I do give a shit about, I would rather and not that I'd rather and prefer download them than watch them on the substandard, 2.9 megs a second stream.
Well, then get a VPN and sell the ICs. It's faster.
So so yeah, but that's about it. Because like for the Netflix shows, who cares? But Band of Brothers is a very good show. I don't think it has to be on a Blu-ray, no?
It's probably available on Blu-ray. Yeah. Let's see.
So
Uh, Amazon, right? Because everything Amazon DVD.
only Oppo plays SACDs. All the recent UHD disc players do not support SACDs anymore. That sucks.
That is $40 apparently.
Oh wow, that's cheap.
Well, I mean, wait, the Blu-ray is $25.90.
$25.90
Yeah,
for the whole Band of Brothers thing.
apparently.
Sick. That's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that sucks because
But
like
it's also what, 23 years old?
Yeah, I try to rip with whatever software at the time. I try to rip that uh, Pink Floyd out so I could listen to it somehow or convert it into something that I could listen to it, and it's not possible.
Why don't you hook up your Apple TV and listen to it on Apple Music with Atmos?
I don't have an Apple TV.
Oh, I thought you had
Well,
one.
whatever's built into the thing. No, I don't, bro. I don't even have apples in the fridge. I'm not an Apple guy at all. I have a mandatory iPad from work, but that's about it because the schedule's on the iCloud. I don't do any of this shit. It's funny. Yesterday, we went for dinner, and I don't know. I was checking something on my phone, and like this thing has this little stylus thing, right? Which is the coolest fucking thing ever, bro. And I think my girlfriend saw the light at the end of the tunnel because she's always iPhone, and this is like she started drawing there in the restaurant. And it's like this is so cool. I'm like, this phone rules. Instead of your i15, whatever the heck it is. But I don't like the camera nonsense, bro. Like why? Why do we do that?
Because you need
Why
to
other
spy on
phones?
people.
No, I don't care about spying, but like recess the bloody things. There's got to be room.
No, there isn't. You need some focal length.
Yeah, I know, but still, God, man, I would rather have a
I
phone
mean,
with
if
the,
you
like
recess that, it's probably touching the inside screen.
most likely it would,
Yeah.
but yeah. Other than that, no, I'm very impressed by how much the technology on the phones had moved. Because I watched the teardowns on YouTube, and I can't believe that the entire computational power of this phone is like just right here. That's it. The rest is battery underneath it. It's pretty crazy how small things gotten nowadays and what this can do. Can't play CDs though. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this PlayStation now. I'm even more on the fence. Do I buy the digital one and then I just, buy myself a different Blu-ray player that does all of it? Maybe I'll buy something that is older because I don't really care. Yeah, I just want to listen to that one disc for God's sakes. So even if I find one that we take out from a job somewhere that is gonna go to the garbage, I'll give it one last playback, and that's it.
I'm
What are you looking for?
I looked on Amazon and just put in SACD player, and it comes back with a Sony X700 4K UHD. It does 2D, 3D, SACD, multi-region free Blu-ray disc DVD player. It's 285 USD.
Which one is it? Sony BDP 35 S3500.
I don't know. I'll put it in the.
Just looking in.
It's in the chat, in the general chat.
Sony X700. Oh yeah, $414. Yeah, something like that. You know, it plays everything.
So
yeah, that'd be
you
something
can
for
pop in
me.
your SACDs in that.
Because I got a couple, and I also have like a lot of music DVDs, right, from the era of yesteryears where you could actually get it like that. Oh, Apple Vision! Don't even get me started on that crazy nonsense. I watched a few reviews on that thing. I think that's gonna be a game changer. I think this is gonna be something that could be as big as the iPhone was when it first came out, in my opinion. Like when it comes to the how we are gonna use computers or interface with them in near future, maybe in 5 to 10 years, because I don't think that there's enough. Like, yeah, shit's small and powerful now, but it's nowhere near enough to have it like basically to the so you don't look like a goof with big ski goggles on, and the battery, of course. But I think it's for gaming and for all that, like, you know, especially the augmented reality. I haven't tried them, but from watching YouTube reviews and people interacting with them, I watched this one guy that's got this like a high vis jacket and walking around New York wearing that shit on his head, like sitting on the bench, just, you know, doing this with his fingers, and it's like it's insane, dude. It is insane. The only thing I don't like is that the headphones are not existent. They're basically just playing into your ears from the top, so everybody else is involved a little bit. I'm sure if you put those ear bitch pods, whatever ear pods, in, that it can be paired together, so you don't have to bother people. But
Yeah, you're still not solving the embarrassment of accidentally clicking on porn accidentally.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
still
You're in your own.
everybody knows what you're doing.
But yeah, I could see that on the airplane be used very much. But even in the office, like the layout that you have, you know, I understand the tactile thing. Like you have to type with your fingers like this, so that's a little weird to just, you know, do that in midair because there's no surfaces, whatever. But it's promising technology, in my opinion. If not for, you know, work, it definitely will be something for video gaming, like the Octopus Prime, or what is it, the Oculus Prime.
Yeah. So essentially, you want Apple to make an HDMI port so you can attach it to your theater.
The what?
You want Apple to make an HDMI port on it so you can attach it to your theater with eARC, and then your screen is however like big you make it.
That'd be insane. For gaming, this is absolutely crazy, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's too early to tell. Plus, it's almost $4,000. Fuck, because you gotta buy the carry case, right?
It's 3.5 US, so it's probably over four in.
That's what I'm saying. Like $4,000 US, because you gotta buy the carry case, which is another $250, and then yeah, I guess the tax on top. But yeah, I don't know. It sounds promising. It looks promising. Time will only tell. I'm sure that it's either gonna be something that it's like the EVs, you know, you know, the Elon fanboys get their fix with the batteries, and then the rest of us, it's just, you know, we're still gonna stick to the reality and get in places in a respectable time and no stress.
The next
But
podcast, you're gonna look something like this.
I guess I wouldn't even have to look like it. We could just like meet at a Metaspace or whatever it's called. Oh
God,
no,
it's
that's
awful.
Bookface.
Like
It's
everybody
so
with
weird.
these ski masks on their face.
That's gonna be a new normal soon. You're gonna go. Well, I don't take public transit, but if I were to have to take public transit, I would be with this thing every day.
I'm gonna have a lot of emotional damage of all the accidents these people will put me in. This is
Fuck.
my way to 90s.
So yeah, I just don't.
Because
I don't know.
you're like, if you go on YouTube right now or Twitter or whatever, right, you already see people in their Teslas just doing this while they're in the driver's seat.
Oh yeah, on autopilot.
Yeah, because you're supposed to still be driving, but who cares? We're just.
But apparently, it doesn't work good in a moving. I watched a New York review, and he went to the metro. As soon as the metro started moving, and shit starts going, the thing just like it disappears because it thinks you're moving. So it hides the. So you just basically have a pass through screen. That's it. Because it has a trouble locking onto shit. I don't know how it works, but it's
I'd rather get
definitely.
8 grills than any of this shit. I'd rather have actual screens than all this phone nonsense.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's not for me, obviously, but it's.
Are you gonna watch WWE Raw on Netflix?
Are you out of your fucking mind, man? There's so many different things I could waste my time on other than the WWE Raw. That's for kids, man. Like I remember watching this when I was 10, 11 years old, but now I couldn't be pushed into watching this unless it's against my will.
I don't think I've ever watched wrestling, really. Like, I've seen snippets of it, but I don't think I've ever watched the whole program, even when visiting friends in the US and stuff.
I remember watching Netflix, wrestling and Jerry Springer were the two shows I was introduced to when I first came to Canada in 1998.
Well, if Jerry Springer falls under wrestling, then I've watched a lot of wrestling because Jerry Springer was awesome.
Oh, Jerry Springer was the best back in the day. That
It's
was,
so trashy, it's good.
oh my God, that was some good old popcorn TV. So yeah, that's what I was in. I could not believe this was going on. We've talked about this, I'm sure, a few hundred podcasts ago. Uh, will availability of AIDS wood grills in Canada? I'm not sure what you're asking, Stefan. We have wood grills, but they're only oak and light oak, and we put them side by side. I can't bloody tell the difference, man, other than what the back of the sticker says on the back of the grill. So, Mikey, how's your second set of 50s? Matthew's asking.
Good.
They're great.
Excellent.
It's hard to complain about those, Matthew.
Yeah, there's they're good. They're just like the other set. They work.
Yeah. Stefan, if you're asking for a date for the wood grills for Walnut, I genuinely have no idea. I hope that it's gonna be soon. I think that when March rolls around, there's gonna be more answers from BNO. My guess, because the anthracite color BioLab 8s are gonna become available from production, because right now it's a wish list item, and we'll see. But I think that I know for a fact they're gonna come up with the walnut grills. It makes no sense that they would have every other speaker in walnut in portfolio other than the Lab 8s, even though they're co-designed or they're designed to fit with the look of the theater. So, oh yeah, dude, this is prime time TV from the 90s. Tabarnak.
It's such trash.
Oh, dude, it's so funny though, man, and it's so hard to find on YouTube now, like the good shows, because YouTube go full woke, so you can't see the freaking hillbilly fights. Yeah, this is like incest in its finest, and it's generational at this point. To go on the road. I honestly sometimes I wondered what was the cab ride like to the studio with all these, who's this weird man beside me, honey? Well, I guess they took separate cars, but yeah, it's just that show was something.
God.
But yeah, that was no, that was, and then Steve, he made his own show out of it afterwards, right? That bouncer.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, and then Steve, like breaking up the fights, chairs are flying and shit. Oh god, yeah, that. I wonder how much of it was fixed, man, because the people must have gotten paid for that, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
of course.
But it was just, it was awesome. My dear sister, interested. We sell a lot of, I would say, silver and anthracite. I think the least popular colors are gold, brass stone, I guess, the bronze, which is now uh bespoke anyway. So if you want to pay another 15% more for the bronze color, good for you. But other than that, yeah, I think if you go B&O, you either silver or now I guess you have the option gold, black anthracite. I just hope that the black anthracite stays in their portfolio for a long time, so you can keep buying that gear in that color.
Yeah, let's not make it like bronze or brass or now gold or.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Bronze doesn't look good at all. To me, it doesn't. I don't like the bronze. I don't like the brass. Not the best. Not a fan of that.
I mean, the anthracite is quite a nice looking color. I was seriously considering that for my second set.
Yeah, but that'll look weird if you have two different colors of the 50s.
It's alright. Front and back is fine.
But
I mean, Hendrik has them. They look stellar in his place.
the 50s?
Yeah. In
I thought he had
anthracite.
28s. I thought he had 28s.
Yeah, but he got rid of those, and then he got
Oh, yeah.
50s.
Nice. Makes sense.
I mean, he posted it on Instagram a while ago. Let's see if I can find it. I only see a picture of this weird Danish dude.
Yeah, I don't know about see the level, David. The level is probably the most undersold product in our portfolio so far. I don't think anybody really sells it. I don't know what dealer would sell it. Like if you compare it to the A5 now, it's really hard push. And they put the silver thing still, eh? They don't do the black anthracite inside the lenses.
No, they do. For the regular black, they don't. For the piano black, for some reason,
interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand because the piano black looks fantastic until you turn the speaker on.
Yeah, and the silver comes up.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But then apparently, like, this is Danish fashion or something. It's like, what the hell, man? Fucking weirdos on TV.
What is that? Sweet Denmark's Got Talent.
This is probably. I have like no idea what it is.
Yeah, the anthracite theater looks nice, but I'm not a fan of. Man, the black color, like for me, it just hides all the beauty of the design and refinement when you go anthracite. It just kind of dulls it all down. Can't really see the difference in the stand, at least on the picture.
Yeah, it's probably different in real life.
Gerald says Wilson level is the most flexible of all the small speakers. Yes, it is. I don't disagree with you, but it's something that doesn't get sold. If you compare the sound and if you compare it to the A5 will sound better than the then the level will be more accurate and precise. Level is, to me, it's more or less like a miniaturized or scaled down version of the BeoSound 1 from the 2000, from the year 2000. The CD player and the radio with the retractable antenna, just to be clear. But yeah, that's the old picture, isn't it?
Yeah,
From Hendrix.
correct. But with a bit more sunlight, you get a bit more detail.
So
You can always ask B&O to make stuff in brass for you. It'll be bespoke. It won't be fun to pay the difference, but
yeah. But yeah, David, you're right. The level sounds great in lower levels, if no pun intended. But if you start juicing it up, it starts to run away from itself. I still have one. I you know what? It's been packed in the box for months and months and months now. I don't really have a need for it.
but are we not also expecting way too much from small speakers sometimes?
That's definitely a case, especially for level. If you look at how thin that profile of the speaker is, yes, it's ridiculous to demand a high acoustic profile out of such a small enclosure, even to begin with. But it does sound great when it's on a lower level. I have to agree. Like, to me, this would be a speaker that, you know, I can see in a reception in an office somewhere, because it also gives you the opportunity to put your logo there through Skinny Play, and, you know, kind of make it your own as a company type of thing, by your desk. But even like if at your desk at that point, if you're gonna go Bluetooth or anything, I would buy an Explorer for the if
Yeah.
I still worked in the office like I used to in the architecture, I would I would buy a small Explorer and just play it quietly, whatever, have a radio on it. Because the problem I had with the office, like nowadays it's an issue, but back then only A8s were available for headphones, so you could still pick up the phone and put them over top of your ear. Where now with the Bluetooth and whatever noise canceling and all this shit, and it's just, you know, it's different. But I guess you can take calls on your cell phone back uh, when I was in the architectural firm working. The Bluetooth earpieces just came out and be cool, and everybody ran around like a dickhead with a little ear thing in there, and people that had long hair were considered crazy because you couldn't see that they had an earpiece. They were just talking into the wind, which now is normal. Now you see people, you know, with the, you know, they had a hat on or something. You can't see the headphones, but, you know, they're not nuts. They're just talking on the phone with somebody. But I remember the times where that was looked at like, this guy's out of his fucking element right here, talking to himself, full blown conversation. So having listened
Yeah.
to the level and emerge, I have to question, am I getting out of the stand mounts and the floor standing speakers for the price difference?
Different design, different everything.
Yeah. But, you know, level versus emerge, you can't really compare them. Like
I mean,
emerge
like,
is a very tiny speaker, but how much sound, how much better is the sound from theater versus harmony? It's a very, very big difference. It's a very big difference, especially with the spatials and such. But let's
it's
say if you listen to it at 50, I think they sound the same on music. I think harmony actually sounds better musically than the theater. My personal opinion.
it's hard to put the percentage on it, right? Because people immediately start looking at price at that point.
Yes.
So it's also a lot of it is personal preference. I personally would say that in terms of sound, it's not really the same thing.
No.
It also it's so much depends on what you have with it. If you just have a harmony or just a theater, the difference is way bigger than if you compare 50s with a theater or 50s with a harmony.
Yeah, the difference is more or less almost negligible at that point
Yeah.
because it's the 50s that are doing the push.
mean, you still get the better codecs and stuff, but then again, you lose some of the DTS stuff. So it depends on how much you care for DTS.
And also, I guess you could afford to go theater and 2 speakers in the back, like in my scenario here, where in harmony it wouldn't really work that well because there's not enough power at the front.
No. Also, the harmony is more made as a center channel or as just a TV versus the triangle situation.
I see the BeoVision Harmony now as a modern take on a BeoVision 9 from the yesteryears, where it's a television that is reliant on an extra set of speakers to be with it. So,
yeah. But anybody that's into B&O TVs always ends up there anyway.
yeah.
So there's very few people that have a B&O TV and nothing else.
That's very true. We do have few clients like that. That I have one that I went to service call a couple times. Just the Harmony 77. That's it. Not even a subwoofer. It's okay, I guess.
Well, if you're watching mostly like the news, a talk show here and there,
It's a hockey game and a news TV. So yeah, there's purpose served completely. And they got kids. They're all downstairs geeking out on their PlayStations, anyways, with the headphones. Which is cool because at least you don't have, like, when I used to be a kid, there was really no way easy to hook up headphones, and there's no even forget it wirelessly. So you just had the TV and playing Grand Theft Auto 2, just shooting in sirens all day long, and my parents go nuts, right? Fuck. So
yeah. What's the thing? I mean, it also looks right. Like, I mean, if you have like 90s or 50s or whatever, like, first of all, do you care for movies, and how much so? Like, in my opinion, like, personally, I switch partially because it's lighter and it's better, but the harmony is a lot more stable.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you care for music mostly, the theater won't change that much. It will if you like movies. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I personally would say it makes less sense to buy a harmony, but it's not a wrong choice.
No, it's not. Maybe there's gonna be an update to the harmony as well, which I think it's due anyways. If they're gonna come up with a Mozart variant of it, we're on a Mozart platform 2.0 already.
I'd be much, much more okay to do that with a harmony than with like 50s or 90s.
No, I don't think they shall fuck with the 50s or 90s. I don't think there's ever gonna be a Mark II 50s with the Mozart platform in them.
I somehow
50s, you
wouldn't
could
be
kind of get away with it though.
surprised. I
With
somehow
50s, you could get away with, but not 90s, because there's nowhere to put the touchpad interface with your goofy my buttons and everything else.
Yeah. Well, maybe the hard rule of you must have a touchpad will go out the window. Who knows? But I just don't. I don't want to see it because they're smart enough to be smart, but dumb enough to just always function, essentially. And don't mess with a good thing. And the people that complain of like, oh, it's 2015, 2017 tech. Okay, and?
Yeah.
Like, your internal combustion engine is 100-year-old tech. Your electric car is 100-year-old tech. Like, the first electric car is like 100 years old.
I think it was in mid 1800s that there was the first electric car was built.
Yeah, so like, just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad. It generally means it always works.
Yeah, but I don't know. I could see the 50s being updated because they could put that goofy interface on top of the lens. In a
I
way,
don't. Because you need some depth, right? That lens is going to get thicker.
you could squeeze it in. There's enough room. Because you literally just need, the backlighting and all this shit. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that being put on the 50s at all. I hope to Christ they don't.
No. I just stay off
I
of it.
think.
Get it
I
out of
think.
your head.
Well,
Fuck off.
personally, I think those speakers are gonna stay the same, just like the 18s will die the way they are. I don't think they're gonna retro Mark to something like that. I think that they're just moving forward with the Mozart and whatever else. Whatever new comes out is gonna be smart and does its thing and whatnot and whatever. I think the one thing that they should do is give the BeoLab 8's ability to have a BeoLab 19 to be able to pair with it through VISA.
Yeah.
Because those antennas, I'm sure if you're receiving signal, you can send signal, right? So I don't know if it's a software limitation, but I really don't understand how it would be a hardware limitation per se. Or are they going to make a smart sub?
I have a feeling you were correct a few months ago in that they don't want to make subs at all. That's why everything is so basic.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you really need a sub with 8s?
Yeah.
Want versus need? I mean, their answer is probably going to be buy 28s or 50s.
Yeah. But it's not that simple because some people just don't like the look of something, right?
Yeah,
And
but
that's it. Like
we
if I don't
are
like the look of
choosing for
28,
you to be aesthetically this way because it's the B&O way.
oh well, piss off. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but like, I understand, but this is the very high net worth. We decide what you must like, right?
Loritz is combating his autocorrect hard. Yeah, there are rumors about the new core, but we'll see.
The FCC files were there.
Oh yeah,
we talked about that
we
weeks
talked about
ago.
it.
Like, was it early December or something?
Mm-hmm. I wonder what that will kill. It definitely replaces the old core, or is it?
Probably. Who knows?
My question is, if it's not gonna retain the same form factor, right? So
No, it
what
was
do you put
square
into
in the
the
pictures.
So what do you put in a BioSound shape? Are they gonna have to make another tile that fits that?
Well, does it have to be bigger if it's not the same form factor? Maybe it's just a different bracket holder.
Well, but in the shape tile, there's a hole for the core to sit in, right?
Correct, but what if it's square and only about that size?
Well, if it fits within the circle, we're fine, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
I mean, by the way, B&O is actually promoting their 8s on their website or on the Instagram. I must say, these are very nice pictures.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're real.
Yeah, which makes a difference.
Yeah, the anthracite ones are nice, and I think they're gonna sell a lot here too, because we have a lot of peak interest about the anthracites as well.
It's a nice color. I like it.
I mean, but it's also very conventional, right? Because we've all grown up in our lives with speakers that are black, right? Well, yeah. I guess not people that are dipped into the B&O much, but most of the populace is the common color is black. So obviously, even though you're still gonna gravitate to the darker colors by the predisposition that you had always had black speakers, and some people are just afraid of a little bit of spark in their life. That's a nice logo.
Do you know if the ceiling brackets are like coming or?
I don't know. It's really quiet about them. It's really, really quiet about them. They had pushed the I don't think it was a production, but I don't think they have been discontinued yet. Maybe they have. I don't really know. But there's not much word about them at all.
I personally kind of don't see for the majority of instances why you couldn't get away with these brackets, just the regular wall brackets, just hang them high.
In open concept places, sometimes you just have it open to the back, and it's not like a mezzanine or something. So you would put them on the ceiling in the back. I'm thinking, for example, of a specific house scenario that.
Yeah,
that
but
they
that's
were
what I
asking.
mean, right? Like 9 out of 10 times you can put them somewhere on a wall. Maybe 8 out of 10 times. So is it really worth it to like invert the floor stand essentially?
Well, if you invert the floor stand, yeah, I guess you can drill a couple holes into there and,
Yeah.
and rifle it on the wall or ceiling if you really, really need it.
So, but to make full-on production runs for it may be optimistic for how many people live like that.
I think that they're gonna push that nonsense off to STB.
Probably.
That is my guess. If and it's been like that ever since fucking wine was red. Whatever B&O didn't want to do or whatnot, it's STB that would always pick up the slack on that.
Yeah, I see it as a niche use case from because most people will, I think, will buy 8s that are up and coming in the brand, right? Like, I don't think a lot of people with those open concept that are enormous that are going to flock to 8s like that. They're going to more flock to 18s, 50s, 90s sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, do you really want to have like these floating 8s somewhere in your open concept? Probably not really.
Mm. I'm looking at they don't have anything as far as the BioLab 8 under speakers yet from STB brackets. So maybe that'll come soon too.
Yeah. I mean, SCB will probably make something for something. They always do, right? They probably will make some adapter to use 17 floor stands at some point.
Those would be weird looking, I think.
Yeah, but what if you have a
With the
low
offset.
flung couch and you want them to, I don't know, whatever, right? Like STB has more leeway that way. They don't have to make production runs of in the multiple thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can make a design like, hey, you could also do this. We have one. And we'll wait until somebody orders the second one to make the second one.
That's a very cute setup, though. I really like that. 2 pairs of 8s in a theater.
Yeah, looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the subwoofers are on the way out from B&O's portfolio. 19 is going to stay for probably a few more years.
Just gonna go the way of the 18. Just keep it as is. Like, what are you gonna improve?
There's nothing to improve. Maybe redesign, make a more powerful one. That's about all you can do.
Yeah, but then it's gonna outpower the 8s.
Well, it's not just for the 8s. You can tie them in with the 28s.
Yeah, but they are already
shape.
sold as if they don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah, that base is too sloppy for me, for my ears, what comes out of the 28s. Yes, it's powerful and thumpy, but their accuracy is not just there, in my opinion, at all. But I don't know.
So yeah,
It'll be another week of B&O this week. I'm probably not working tomorrow, so it's going to be great. I can sleep in.
nice.
It's going to be fantastic.
That way you can rename all your living room and bathrooms and things.
No, she already did. She texted me that I keep getting confused. Well, name it something different, man. Shit, I don't know.
Let's just name hers my living room.
Hers and mine.
Yes.
So
yeah, name yours his living room and hers her living.
No, because then it's gonna show on the app. It's stupid. No, I don't want that.
Well, it's his and hers.
Yeah,
that
I know.
works.
It's weird. But I don't have her TVs on my app.
Yeah, okay.
Neither does she. It's only the Spotify issue, bro. That's all there's to it.
Yeah, apparently I should never let her on my network because my theater will just start playing shit. Like I can't hear anything and she'll go max volume.
What is this? So yeah. No, well, it's gonna be another week of BNO doing something. I'm actually thinking. I know she wants me to come over and watch that goofy show, but I'm really keen on. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I want to take the panel off the theater, and I want to take apart the back and pat it because I'm done. I'm done.
Expansion foam.
How much it rattles a lot now.
Low
Like
expansion foam. Old.
fuck that, man. Yeah, right. Just jerry rig everything, right? No, no, no. I'm gonna do this correctly. I got a handful of gap pads here that I'm gonna. I've harvested a bunch from the BioVision Horizon that died. So I got all this goodness right here, and then I got a couple more. I don't know what the heck this is even from, but it's a nice chunky gap pad. I forget what.
You can always run to the store and get some Play-Doh or something.
No, these are thermal ones, bro. These are gonna work.
All right.
It's not the weirdest gap pad you ever seen.
Yeah, it's a big ass gap.
That's in the Horizon TV. There's a little cute one.
All right. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm going to call it for today. We'll see you all next week if all goes well. And yeah, have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.